A timely question. You can see how I think. This is how I think. So, Love for Dead. This person's asking about Coldstream. Let's clear up some confusion about Coldstream. So they're asking about if Matthew Lordeley started working on this or if we reached out to him. Hey, by the way, you can always ask me these questions in the actual comments. It's easier for me and I don't have to do this kind of weird thing. I could just click to it, but that's okay. So let's talk about some Love for Dead 2 and let's talk about Coldstream. So first of all, this really shows you how I think about games. Because right now, in my own game, the Anacrusis, available for sale, we were working with the community to do a community update, and they're actually making the trailer for it because I think it's important that you do it yourself if you're going to learn, right? Because this is about the learning process. And so for our game, the Anacrusis, they're making the trailer right now, and they're learning about like feedback and working with people and how do you get the community to help you with doing something because it's the community of the community. And then, oh my God, like you start doing it and like, and so I'm giving some tips and help, but no, they're going to learn the process because doing is how you learn. And Matthew Lordeley is a really good example. So we were playing his maps. We play a lot of community maps. Like I've always played a lot of community stuff. If you ever notice, I really like I make these videos and stuff because of you guys, not because of me. Like the community stuff, the community games, the community stuff, from the stuff we make in the Source Engine to stuff like this, right? I love this stuff. I love seeing people being creative and given a chance. So we really liked his stuff. And so we reached out. And here's an important part. Here's an important part for you youngsters out there. When we reached out to him, first of all, he responded quickly. And he responded intelligently. And he's like, what are you talking about? And we just started talking with him. It ends up he had just been laid off. He had this gap where he was getting still paid in severance, and he had an opportunity, and he was learning. He wanted to get into games, and he was teaching himself using Love for Dead 2, which always warms my heart. And so this was his opportunity. And so he was doing all of this work, and we started talking with him. And we had this idea already. We were looking for somebody. Because while you could just take the best of the maps and purchase them, we wanted to work with somebody in the community so we could learn from them as well as help them. And so we said, hey, you're pretty easy to work with. You got some time. What if we give you this chunk of money and you make a campaign with us? And we had some rough ideas, and we would go back and forth on it. But we pretty much let him go a lot of times and then try to give him feedback. I remember early feedback was about like iteration, how iteration isn't just throwing out and restarting, but like moving forward. Like Matthew is one of the people who learns quickly, listens, and is super easy to work with. So it was super fun. And he has had some ideas about like the water and stuff, right? And like there's a whole bunch of ideas that he wanted to do that made it different than stuff we had done. And we were excited about that. And so we worked with him on that, and he ended up dropping Coldstream. It's a different kind of map than a lot of the other Left 4 Dead maps because of that process, right? Because we were trying to do things differently and look at things and work with it and everything. And it was great. The cool thing out of all of this is Matthew Lordeley, ended up, I'll let him say it for himself, but he ended up getting into the game industry and working for some really big developers on really cool games. And I know some people who've worked with him, and he continues to be a really great person to work with. That goes a really long way. Don't be an a-hole. Be smart, be creative, listen, and learn to iterate. And so, yeah, we reached out. That was us. And we wanted to work with them and make something, and we did. And in fact, now is Two Evil Eyes still available? I now want to go back and play that. And Coldstream. So on our stream, we play not only like the Anacrusis and stuff, and a lot of Left 4 Dead stuff, but we play a lot of other free games and stuff, because a lot of the Source early games and stuff, because I love to see people when they're just making stuff like that, because it's about the passion and excitement. They're not thinking about getting a job in the industry at first. They're really just thinking about like, how do I express myself in this? And then that comes out of that, right? And it's fun that the Anacrusis, we actually had somebody enter the industry through us, and now is on, I won't spoil it. They're on something really cool and about to help something really, really cool. And that's just awesome to me, right? Like I love to see that, because really what it means to me is I get free game keys, and that's the most important thing.